Hey, y'all, welcome to Cross Politic on the Midweek Fix.
I don't have nothing to drink.
Pastor Toby, Chalk Knox, I'm the Water Boy. It's good to be with you guys. And as you guys kind of restructure your coffee budget for the year, you should join our club, okay?
What does that club have to do with coffee?
Because, for a couple cups of coffee a week, you could join our club for one a month, for like 2 cups of coffee a month. You know what I'm saying?
Expand the kingdom.
And also, our magazine has now shipped out to all subscribers. And so if you have not received the magazine, email us, contact@fightlaughfeast.com.
If you're a subscriber.
If you're a subscriber. For whatever reason, we have a couple people that miss their magazine every year, whether it was a bad ship or something like that. So make sure, emails, we'll make sure you're whole with your magazine. Secondly, related to that, we are going to give a gift to all club members, a magazine gift to all club members who are not already subscribers. And that gift is starting to ship out. It's going to kind of roll out over the next couple weeks.
The dog sleds finally arrived.
It took forever to get the shipment of magazines for our club members and everything.
It was a Christmas issue from the North Pole.
Yeah.
Right. So, Santa was late.
This is like the 20th day of Christmas.
But we wanted to give it to you before Christmas, and because of shipping and COVID and all the silly stuff, everyone had an excuse for us. Well, we finally got it last Friday, and now it's going out. So there you go.
Founded in 2018, the Reformed Sage exists to edify Christians with products and services that build the kingdom of God and proclaim the gospel to all. They've created products that are unique, useful, beautiful, and humorous. We have wood art, engraved wall art, apparel, that's clothing, drinkware, decals, stamps, and much more.
Knox likes all this stuff.
I got some of this stuff right here.
I wonder if they got backpacks, because you're into backpacks.
I love bags.
We also regularly make custom merchandise, like backpacks maybe, for churches, ministries, businesses that want to add or expand their product offerings, in turn, increasing revenue. Use the promo code FLF22 for 10% off your first order at reformedsage.com. And happening now, all apparel is marked down until Super Bowl Sunday.
That's like February.
Which is like in June this year, right?
Yeah, it's August. It's the second week in February. Normally it's the first.
I know, right? They pushed it way back.
Yeah.
No promo code necessary. Shirts are just $20, hoodies $30, and there's more. They're changing apparel vendors and removing some designs. They don't know at this time what color sizing options will be available come March 1. So if there's a particular combo you want, design, size, color, better grab
it now
before it's gone for good. The sale ends February 6th. That's reformedsage.com.
What was the website?
reformedsage.com.
It's in the ad now.
I'm with that. Well, Virginia has a new sheriff in town. Governor Glenn Youngkin was sworn in this past weekend.
I don't know about that.
And he dropped 11 executive orders right out of the box. The dude wasn't playing. So everyone is thinking right now that Youngkin is cleaning house, especially after his most recent move to Commonwealth's Diversity and Inclusion Department that somehow still remains. In a Wednesday press release, Youngkin announced that the Heritage Foundation policy expert Angela Saylor has been tapped as the Commonwealth's new Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion.
Die.
The good news is...
Isn't that how you pronounce that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yay.
The good news is that Saylor has written in opposition to critical race theory in the past, including a piece last summer titled, "Schools are hiding behind diversity inclusion rhetoric to spew critical race theory is vile."
That's a great title.
It's
like a Puritan paperback.
Head of the diversity. Christopher Rufo, if you're not familiar with Christopher Rufo, he's been all over Twitter. He's one of the top gun fighters against critical race theory. He's tweeted that Glenn Youngkin has asked all of the state's DEI employees to resign and has tapped an anti-critical race theory leader, Angela Saylor, to lead the department. He goes on to say that in her first move, Saylor eliminated the word, get this, equity, and she has replaced it with opportunity.
Bold move.
So my question to all of you, and particularly these guys.
Bold conservatives. We got some bold conservatives out there. Good work.
Is this winning?
We're screwed.
I want to point out first that 11 executive orders day one. 11 executive orders day one?
Yeah.
That precedent is so bad.
Why is it bad, though?
Because every governor that gets in office, all they do is they use their pen and they unsign the previous executive order that they didn't like. So why is it bad? Because you're going to flip-flop every 4 years, and it's not a legislative process. That's how we set it up. We are a republic. We aren't a dictator. And executive orders are not legislation.
Right. I'm going to put a little asterisk next to what you said.
Okay.
A footnote.
All right.
Except where you are constitutionally empowered
to do it,
to do something.
Sure.
I agree with you that just making random orders is not. But like, for example, I don't mind him rescinding things that were unconstitutional to begin with to get you back. Now, and they may come back and use that same power again, and there's a problem there. But the legislature needs to fix that with their state constitution. This is terrible.
Okay. Yes,
it's terrible. Yeah. Don't you have something that says terrible?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. How about this? That's what they're doing right now. Here. Okay. I'll let you finish, Pastor. Go ahead.
But this is like, David going out to face Goliath and then I don't know, playing footsie with him.
And Goliath's got bigger feet, so
because he won in Virginia, he was kind of David in Virginia. Right. He won in Virginia.
I'm gonna flesh this out.
Flesh it out.
So here's the deal: you have Christopher Rufo. Let's start there, since we ended with him. Yeah. He has been one of the main people you go to if you want to understand what critical race theory is. He's got threads and tweets and receipts on everybody defining critical race theory and working through the concept of it and the history, the background, Marxism of it. He's got it.
Yeah.
You got Glenn Youngkin.
Yeah.
Who ran his whole campaign to shut down the idea of critical race theory and to give parents the response.
He actually adjusted his campaign once he saw that he could capitalize on it.
That's right. He wasn't doing that well.
He actually resisted at the very beginning to use critical race theory.
Then he realized,
I can capitalize off this.
The conservatives will vote for me.
And so you have two people here, who are in this story that we're talking about, who know good and doggone well what critical race theory is. Right. And then instead of demolishing the false God like God told Saul to do, you kill the prophets, you kill everything, you get rid of it. Instead, he says, hey, this still has a great opportunity.
I saved some of the best for sacrifices.
And he puts a person who is an opponent of critical race theory into the diversity department that shouldn't exist in the beginning.
Right. Did you say that this diversity department was created by
Blackface Northam.
Blackface Northam?
Right after he had the blackface incident, this department was created so that, really it was for cover. Yeah. But the department, they are winning because all the foundations, remember we talked about this, the presupposition and the argumentation, we've bought into it with the diversity department. Even Youngkin praised the diversity department and said, we're going to have somebody in this position now who can make sure there's diversity for all. What are you talking about?
And this is how dumb Republicans are. I said this in my daily news brief. Yeah. Was it yesterday? Was that the one that got canceled on YouTube? I can't remember.
There's a fifth.
But OSHA was started by a Republican administration in the 70s, and then the Democrats used it for basically forced vaccination, or attempted to. Right. And here's the Republicans being dumb again, where Blackface Northam creates this diversity department. Republicans get control of it, and they're like, finally, we get control of CRT now.
This would be like a good king arising after Ahab and just trying to put a prophet of God in charge of the prophets of Baal.
Ooh, that's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Put the thing down. Destroy it.
Kill it.
Burn it.
All the way down.
The way down.
They should cancel it.
Right now, if this heritage lady, Sailor, if by the time she's done with this, if she has not completely dismantled the whole thing, all she's done is kept it warm. For the next,
a placeholder for the next Democrats.
This is cleaning with poopy water. So
you always got to bring that up.
I haven't did it this year.
Come on.
I haven't done it this year.
This is
January.
You go back into the old records and you can find where
poopy water.
But this is all it is. And if you leave those institutions in place, you haven't done anything, and all you've done is bought some time. Again, Republicans going off the cliff just a little slower than Democrats.
Republicans are dumb.
Cancel culture, the CRT in action, is coming to banking.
Yes.
According to Newsweek, remember that the payment process system Stripe canceled Trump. Yeah. We brought that up a lot. Well, this past November, Missouri's Conservative Defense of Liberty PAC scheduled a high-profile event featuring a speech by Donald Trump Jr., on November 9th, okay? This happened a couple months ago. However, WePay, a J.P. Morgan Chase subsidiary that provided payment services for the event, announced the termination of those services for that event.
I probably would have canceled it too.
Yeah, for different reasons. WePay accused the organization of violating its policy against promotion of, now get this, okay, hate, violence, racial intolerance, terrorism, the financial exploitation of crime, or its items or activities that encourage, promote, facilitate, or instruct others regarding the same, but they left abortion out. It was weird. Although WePay eventually reversed its decision, the organization still canceled the speech. So the Liberty Caucus, whatever, in Missouri gave up. WePay's actions followed a series of similar incidents in recent years that includes the cancellation of former President Trump's personal bank account, which is still canceled, Mike Flynn's credit cards, and at least one Christian nonprofit organization.
Okay.
Now,
and they didn't cancel any abortion.
No, it was weird.
Clinics.
It was weird. I don't understand. I don't understand the logic there.
Send them an email.
Yeah, you know,
Maybe
it's weird.
What about transgender services?
No, they yeah. I mean, you go to the hospital and get your junk cut off with WePay.
Okay.
Now, I want you to draw the connection here. This might sound like a leap. It's not. Okay. More than 1 in 4 Canadians support jail time for the unvaccinated.
Wait. What's the connection?
We'll get there. This poll is, according to the National Post, a Maru public opinion poll from last week surveyed an online panel of about 1,500 people, Canadians.
They're people too, Gabe.
All right. And found that
apparently 1 in 4 of them might not be.
Wait, yeah, Toby's right. Listen to this. This poll found that 37% in the poll would be acceptable to deny them publicly funded health care. So, pin that, 37% deny health care.
I'm fine with defunding publicly provided health care.
They did them a favor.
And 27% of this poll would be said it'd be okay to jail short-time sentences for the unvaxxed.
Oh, man.
So the unvaxxed not getting health care, 37%, and the unvaxxed not getting jail time, 27%. Now, think of this, okay? We've been thinking about cancel culture from businesses, right?
We're
culture,
dealing with cancel culture.
But it's, you peel that onion out, and we're talking about people.
Right.
We're talking about your neighbors.
Right.
You go walk out, Canadians in Quebec, it's probably even worse in Quebec, walk out your street and say, 27% of my neighbors will have no problem being jailed right now for the unvaxxed. Right. That's cancel culture. That's CRT in action. Right. Is what that is.
Right. What is it? What's the lie that you have to believe in order for that to be something that's normative? You know what I mean? What's the lie that they're believing in that?
Well,
they says that that's okay.
They believe that the coronavirus is so deadly that you aren't loving your neighbor and you could kill people. You could kill people.
The coronavirus is only a fruit or product of something else that they're believing, because you don't get here to this place in 2 years.
All right, Knox. How do you get here in 2 years?
You don't. You get here over a period of time.
Pitter-patters.
You get here over treating people a particular type of way, of thinking about human beings in a particular type of way over long periods of time. You don't get here in 2 years.
Yeah. So what do you have to believe?
That's what I'm trying to work out right now, because it's not just Canada. It's the whole world right now. Yeah. We are seeing an uprising of people fighting against anti-vaccinations, fighting against for their freedom, and it's something that is look, when
that's
you
a good question.
I think it's Darwin.
I'm there too, but I want to know where are the details that are just in it, because it's religious for sure. Yeah. Because whenever you cancel Donald Trump's bank account, it has nothing to do with how much the man's got money. So it ain't about money. This is a religious choice that you're making. Right. And so there's some sort of...
It seems to me that inherent in Darwinism, first of all, is materialism. Everything is material. So everything comes down to material characteristics, material factors, material... It's money, it's medicine, it's climate. Yeah. It's all those things. And then there's this weird kind of hubris that takes form, because there's no God. And we're the top of the food chain. Yeah. And people think that then if they just get all of the right physical material factors together, it's like alchemy. You remember alchemy in the Middle Ages? They thought you could turn things into gold, other materials. If you just got the right material makeup, you can play God. Because remember, whenever you deny the God of heaven, it's always a play for his job.
Yeah, that's right.
It's always a play for his job. And so there's no God, and now we're God.
And so Darwin, survival of the fittest, if you're threatened, you're vaccinated and you're threatened by the unvaccinated.
Right. And it's always either if you're not helping me, you're against me.
Right.
And you're a threat to my survival.
Go to jail.
to jail.
It's that with the Machiavellian process. So, and then you put all the power into one place, right? And then now we can call those things that are not as though they were, right? Like that's right.
The whole. Yeah, and I think there is a certain kind of like, because you believe in evolution, you believe that good things have sprung from this sort of pure momentum.
It's right.
Of surviving of the fittest.
Yeah.
Then you have this view of. Remember we talked to Nate a while back about to beating the band, the football. The game where the band comes on the field and
the game wasn't over yet.
The game wasn't over yet, but there's sort of this sheer momentum attempt of like, if we can just get everybody going in the same direction, we can magically evolve into the next best thing. This is what the Great Reset is.
Yeah. And so what we are an opposition of the evolution that's supposed to be taking place right now.
And we're preventing progress.
That's really good. That's really good.
Yeah. Jordan Peterson recently resigned his position as full tenured professor at the University of Toronto.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? We'll get there.
I have mixed feelings. He's now professor emeritus, and that before he's even turned 60 years old.
What an honor.
Why? Well, he wrote an article recently.
Opinion piece,
largely, he says, because of the DIE mandates.
The same Virginia mandate.
Yeah. In Virginia, in America, we spell it DEI.
Yeah.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion. And apparently in Canada, the way it's spelled is diversity, inclusion, equity.
Canadians are just more honest. They're just like, this is the death of our, it's just die.
Yeah.
Americans like to kind of fudge it a little bit.
Like, no, it's DA.
Yeah, it's DEI.
See, it's not the same thing.
Yeah. Anyways, these mandates, he writes, essentially have gutted universities of their ability to actually search for truth, work with those who are most qualified, as well as terrorizing professors and students into only supplying those results and those acceptable outcomes that are required by the quotas of these DIE mandates.
Wow.
The whole article is a glorious rant, taking shots at Canada's new conversion therapy bill.
He went after that.
C4.
Interesting.
Gives it an elbow in place.
Interesting.
As well as Hollywood, their craven scraping at the altar of diversity. But the end of the article is a real gut punch. And I want to quote a chunk for you.
Okay.
He writes at the end, finally, do you know that Vladimir Putin himself is capitalizing on this woke madness?
Oh, so he's going to quote Putin?
Now he's quoting from an article that translated a recent speech by Vladimir Putin, president of Russia. And this is Putin. The advocates of so-called social progress believe they are introducing humanity to some kind of new and better consciousness. Godspeed. Hoist the flags, as we say. Go right ahead. The only thing I want to say now is that their prescriptions are not new at all. It may come as a surprise to some people, but Russia has been there already.
Ooh.
After the 1917 revolution, the Bolsheviks, relying on the dogmas of Marx and Engels, also said that they would change existing ways and customs, and not just political and economic ones, but the very notion of human morality and the foundations of a healthy society.
I can't believe Putin's saying this.
Yeah, he's just quoting from Marx.
Yeah.
The destruction of age-old values, religion, and relations between people, up to and including the total rejection of family.
Wow.
And he says, we had that too.
Black Lives Matter.
Encouragement to inform on loved ones. Hey, are you unvaccinated?
Wow.
All this was proclaimed progress, and by the way, was widely supported around the world back then and was quite fashionable, same as today.
Oh.
By the way, the Bolsheviks were absolutely intolerant of those who had other opinions other than their own.
YouTube.
Cancel culture. Yeah. Looking at what is happening in a number of Western countries, we are amazed to see the domestic practices, the fight for equality and against discrimination, there's that DIE stuff, has turned into aggressive dogmatism bordering on absurdity. That's Putin. And then he closes with this. In Hollywood, memos are distributed about proper storytelling and how many characters of what color or gender should be in a movie.
Yep.
This is even worse than the agitprop department of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union.
Wow. Okay.
You done messed up,
two things there.
That was all Putin.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think first off, if you ever read another long Putin quote like that, your accent's gotta be there, man. Okay. All right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I know what accent
Yeah,
you
man.
would have done.
Committee of the Communist Party, man. You know, something like that. You know, at least give me a little accent. Secondly, it's weird to me that like Putin is quoting history and obviously learning from it. It's a little strange.
Yeah.
But he's still got this socialistic nation and hasn't learned from the history of that.
But he's implying that they've actually moved beyond it. He's like, that's stupid. Actually, I didn't read part of the quote. In part of the quote, he says that's in their past now.
I've been to St. Petersburg, Russia, and
I don't know.
Cops pull you over, they want something.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that it's as far back in his distant past as he thinks.
Yeah.
But I think he's pointing out something true. I mean, when Vladimir Putin points out that the liberal jihad is basically running the exact same play
as the Bolsheviks,
as communist Russia, as the Bolsheviks. We got a problem. We got a problem. But here's the thing. Jordan Peterson closes. He finishes it. I'm just going to summarize in my own words. But basically, he finishes that quote, and he says, "You professors that are still in universities putting up with this, going along with this, shame on you.
Wow.
You people in businesses who are putting up with this," and in various places in the article, he says the only way to continue in this way, like in this world, right now, with all these diversity police, all these DIE policies, is basically if you want to do real work, you have to lie
or hire sailor.
Oh,
yeah.
Or hire who? Oh,
bars,
or get a conservative in there to adjust the diversity requirements for this research or something.
It's opportunity.
Yeah.
You see how we changed that radically?
It's not equity; it's opportunity.
Yeah. No, but he goes after and he basically says, "Look, this is where we are. Stand up now.
So here's a question.
You have to come out now. You have to stand up now. It doesn't get better." I mean, you're talking about 1 in 4 Canadians are like fine with a temporary prison time for the unvaccinated. Yeah. You have to stand up now. You can't say this. This is just a phase.
Wait until 50% want you in jail.
So, do you think? I mean, with that being said, do you think that he should have quit?
It sounds to me like taking it I don't know all the details.
Yeah.
But taking everything that he said, it sounds to me like he decided that he could no longer exist without lying.
Okay.
And if he didn't lie, and if he just stopped saying like, "No, I'm not going to fill out your stupid forms."
Yeah. What was going to be the option?
Then I think he's going to get fired.
Okay.
And so I think what the sort of the most honorable way out was to be like, "I'm going to retire early." Basically.
Okay. And he still is able
I'll take
to
this emeritus status early.
Get my pension from University of Toronto.
He's not a tenured professor. I mean, I don't know all the.
He is a tenured, isn't he?
That's what he retired from. He dropped it. He lost it. Oh. That's what it's saying. Like he retired from a tenure. He was.
Okay, yeah.
But he gave that up, and now he's just a professor emeritus.
Yeah.
But it seems to me like he was trying to say basically, I am not willing to lie anymore. I'm not going to go along with your quotas. I'm just going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And in order to exist any further, either I was going to have to just say no, and then just have a complete collision, or else you're going to have to just keep. You need to step aside.
I can't help think that it does seem like there's some sort of genuine work happening in Jordan Peterson's life.
Yeah.
Because for him he's starting to acknowledge all these things that he's participating in, and now even to go, it's kind of like it looks like repentance.
Right.
Like I've been participating in the system,
right? I'm out.
And now I was a liar, and now I'm out.
You have more faithfulness. I would say, at least in that article, you have got more truth telling going on in Jordan Peterson's article about why he retired early than you do in the new conservative Virginia governor.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
And Saylor coming in, or whoever that other guy was, Mr. What's his name?
Christopher Rufo?
Rufo saying, "Yay, we won because we got a conservative running the Office of Diversity now and changing words like diversity to opportunity."
Yeah, equity.
Equity to opportunity. Whatever.
That's not, I mean.
Whatever.
You gotta, I mean, if you got weeds, you gotta pull them out by the root, baby.
Right. This is why conservatives lose.
Yep.
We bring this up frequently, but remember the prophet who went to the king and said, here,
Yep.
strike with these arrows.
Yep.
Strike with these arrows. And what did he do? He struck like once or twice.
Yeah,
He did the D arrow, the I arrow, and the E arrow.
And the king says, that's it?
Yeah.
He says, why did you not strike the ground 5, 6, 7 times? Then you would have destroyed the enemies of God.
That's right.
You have to tear the altars down completely. God didn't send them into Canaan and say, 50% will do.
Yep.
He said, obliterate it.
Yep.
Tear the idols
Amen.
down.
And just, man, praise God for and just another thing too, just in the pragmatic side of this. Is this what you work for? Is this what all the hard work you did to get Governor
So
Youngkin
elected, and then yes,
we got it.
Let's keep the diversity department going.
Equity to opportunity, guys.
Yep.
What are we?
Radical.
We're building on their foundations.
So
they
bold.
don't care that you changed a word.
Right.
Oh my goodness. One of the things we got to remember, and I wanted to say this just real quick. What you saw with Putin, he understands who we're in conversation with.
Yes, he does.
He understands we're in conversation with evolution, with Marxism. We don't understand we're in the conversation with these guys, which is why we think changing a word is winning.
This is when you're a Republican and you think you're winning because you got more money put in government schools.
That's right. Right.
Which our Governor Little did.
Right.
You are funding the indoctrination of our kids
Yep.
in more of this nonsense.
If you're single, get married. If you're married, have kids. And if you have kids, go baptize them. Until Sunday, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. Go fight, laugh, and feast. This is Crust Politic.